Boo wop, boo boo ba boo wop, boo boo ba boo wop, boo boo ba boo wop bow.
Hanson?
No,
that's
they had a live a cappella every single episode.
yeah,
Yeah.
Rockapella. That was the Carmen Sandiego theme.
Rockapella. Rock, yeah.
Sorry, it sounded like Bop or whatever the hell it is from Hanson.
No, it didn't.
No, I agree with Christopher.
No, it's just the way you were doing it. I remember the one you're talking about, though. I don't know why that was so funny.
Neither do I.
Alphanumeric. ReBoot. What's it gonna add? You're prepared for a giant monster made entirely of nulls stomping around mainframe?
I've always wanted to do that.
How do you plan for that?
Is this still happening? Salivations, ex-humans, and welcome to another edition of Alphanumeric, the ReBoot podcast, where we discuss every single episode of ReBoot from beginning to end, from season 1 to season 4. I am AP Sniddler, and joining me is...
I'm one of your hosts as well, NeoCal.
And I'm another one of your hosts, Christopher Siege, and I just want to say, scintillations, listeners.
Love it. Today, we are going to be discussing one of my personal favorites of season 2. I think it's also one of yours, isn't it, Christopher?
Yep, one of my favorites overall.
Awesome. This episode is called NullZilla, and it is just awesome. Original air date was December 27th, 1995. If I'm correct on that.
Yep, the Canadian air date.
Sweet.
It aired it on December 16th in the US. So it actually aired in the US before it aired in Canada. That's weird.
Oh, no, sweet. Well,
that doesn't usually
Heresy.
that doesn't normally happen to us.
I swear, this is the first time, baby.
Oh yeah, of course.
For anyone unaware, Mainframe Entertainment in the show, ReBoot is a Canadian production, so
right.
That's why it's weird.
Yeah.
Trust me, things other than Canadian broadcasting, things usually do not come out first here.
No.
That is very true.
We're actually usually pretty kind of behind on the whole like pop culture thing.
Yeah.
Like things that take off in the States like usually take like a couple of years before they start taking off here. There was a joke,
and then we say take off.
Take off.
Take off, eh?
There was a joke in an episode of How I Met Your Mother where one character comments that the 80s didn't come to Canada until 1992.
No, I remember that.
Well, there's a joke from one of the earlier seasons of South Park where there's a man like who gets frozen, and he's from 1996, and I can't remember. I think they're like, oh, he's from such a bygone era that we can barely understand him. And maybe I'm wrong, but I thought they like, in order to like rehabilitate him or put him back into society, because so much had changed, and like I don't know when it came out, 2002, whatever the South Park episode was. I think they brought him to like Montreal or Toronto or something like that. They brought him up to Canada.
Well,
I might be wrong on that one.
Well, there's Canada and there's Ontario and Quebec.
True. That is true.
That is true. They might as well.
There's a difference.
Just like there's a difference between Florida and Texas.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
so
BC and Alberta.
Yeah. Well, that's a big one. Anyhow, NullZilla has got to be very high up on my favorites. So I can't wait to get into this because it is riddled with references from everything. So, yes.
Yeah. We open in Lost Angles. We see some nulls crawling around. And Hexadecimal is sitting in her chambers with like next to her magic mirror, and Mike the TV and Scuzzy are there.
Yeah, and so she's gazing into this mirror, and she's just kind of watching it, just leisurely. She's not really doing anything, but she's bringing up the supercomputer onto the screen, if you will, and so she has this secret that Megabyte just doesn't have, apparently, because he's constantly trying to get in there, and Hexadecimal is literally just a looking glass away.
Yeah, he's got the brains and the brawn, but she has like the magic power.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
He's got the money, she's got the power.
Yeah. Which
and
is
the style.
Accurate.
I mean, don't get me wrong, being a huge buff naked blue man is stylish.
Yeah, it's definitely a look unto itself.
Yeah.
It's very hard to be like completely serious like mob boss while also rocking the naked look. It's awkward, everyone else like usually wears a suit. They have fancy cars and he's just like naked all the time.
He does have that fantastic red hairpiece though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is true. Hex has a fantastic hairpiece too. That little like
it's
spiky crown kind of thing.
Statue of Liberty-esque.
Oh, yeah.
Strange thing.
So Michael, the television, is hanging out with Hexadecimal. She calls Mike the TV Michael.
Yeah.
She laughs at how cool she is, and she, what is it? Bride of Frankenstein?
Frankendome, yeah. Franken-gnome.
Gnome.
Whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's all like, I'm bored. Michael, what have you got for me?
Yeah. And he brings up a trailer of a very obvious spoof on Bride of Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Even Igor. Well, there's even a
throws the switch,
stupid
Igor.
pun. Which I still laugh
He's
at.
like, throw the switch, Igor?
Yeah.
By Gore. Because he's
By Gore, that's right, yeah.
Oh,
Literally
yeah.
Throws a switch.
Yeah, because Igor and Binome, Bygore. Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that before. So yeah, Bygore is literally holding a switch that he throws at the mad doctor, and the doctor is like, "Thanks."
It's compiled. It's compiled. And the Franken-gnome
Computer puns. It's amazing.
Yeah, Hexadecimal has seen this before apparently, and she's all like, "I liked it. Show me something else, or else."
And then Mike the TV brings up this. It looks like the end of an opera, where you see this generously proportioned Binome with a Viking hat, and it's the fat lady singing.
Yeah.
As tradition would have it, and she holds this like very very high note that apparently overpowers everything in Hex's lair. And it shatters Scuzzy's little glass dome.
And shatters the mirror to the supercomputer.
And it shatters the mirror. Yeah.
Unleashes some nightmare fuel.
And
this is actually kind of a stupid plot device, really.
What are you talking about? How
it's like the whole driving force for this episode.
Was the opera on TV?
It was the opera on TV. None of this would have happened if
there's
Mike had
null
put the
monsters.
fucking opera on.
There's a bunch of nulls going mad, and it's all Mike's fault, basically.
Yeah, it's
Even I saw that as a kid. I was like, "Oh, this is terrifying! What the hell, Mike?"
Dude, Hack and Slash are looking after. They're doing a very important mission.
Yes.
Yes, they report to Megabyte.
Yeah, and they're all like, Phase 2 is complete. On to Phase 3. Phase 3 it is, then. What is Phase 3? read him a story, and put him to bed.
And it turns out that they're babysitting Megabyte's Null.
Yep.
Nibbles. Yeah.
Nibbles, yeah.
So at least he's putting them. He's giving them a job that they can't screw up, right?
You know, it's a pretty simple job for two bumbling fools, even.
You know what? I was wrong. They put the prehistoric Iceman and South Park to Des Moines, Iowa, not Canada.
That's actually kind of funny.
Oh.
It's north enough.
It's yeah.
Someone in my life growing up, actually a grown adult, actually pronounced Des Moines Des Moines.
Des Moines.
Des Moines.
That's money, dude.
Yep.
That was a reference to a TikToker. Sorry.
Get that money.
And that came up because I used to love playing Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego.
Ah. A man of culture.
Yes. I could never win that game.
I have an SNES Classic that I've had for a couple of years now, and I have it hacked so that so I could put like extra games on it. So instead of the 21, I think I have like 190 or so games on it. But one of them is the SNES version of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, and out of boredom, a few days ago, I actually fired it up and started playing it.
Nice.
You know, that game is really easy as a grown-up.
Yeah. I can imagine it would be.
Really. As long as you have like a basic understanding of geography and placement, like you're fine.
You ever watch the TV show?
Oh yes,
with the kids and
a long time ago. Yeah,
some of those kids are genius.
Yeah. So phase 3 it is then. Yes, sirree, Bob. And wouldn't you know it, Hack and Slash fucked this one up as well. Because Nibbles fucks off. Yep. And they don't even notice.
But before that, we cut to Dot observing, with a welding mask, some nulls getting shocked at the principal office.
Yeah, she's doing some sort of experiment with X-rays or energy or something.
Yeah,
doing some science.
They're doing some science. They got a bunch of nulls in different tanks.
Yeah. And it appears from... in this scene, we actually learn about nulls.
Yeah, they outright just flat out tell us.
Yeah, this is what nulls are. They are X-sprites. Kind of like X-humans, but a little different.
A little different.
Squishy, not skeleton-y.
Yeah, through a conversation with Enzo and Andrea.
Yeah.
He says, Enzo says that this is what happens to mainframers when they lose in a game.
Yep. So
we've been able... nullified.
Yeah, prior to this, we've been able to kind of figure out what nulls are. But this is the first time it's been, I think anyway, it's been explicitly explained.
Yeah. Yes. What was that one episode where we were like, this feels like episode 1?
That was the last episode.
Yeah, the last one, I think, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right. If that's episode, like, the unofficial episode 1, this feels like unofficially episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The way it progresses the story tells the viewer, hey, all of these nulls used to be sprites. Andrea says, how's that possible? The city's full of nulls. And Fong ends up telling her that they lost a lot of people before Bob came to mainframe.
Mm-hmm.
And he started like defeating the user.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen how generally useless everyone in mainframe is in games, other than Dot and Enzo.
Until Bob's very helpful TED Talk in the last episode.
Had to, mister.
I had to.
Why did you do
it? And engage. I also said engage more times than make it so, actually.
Actually.
Yeah.
I said engage more times than I said make it so.
Oh, that was a really good impression of that, dude.
It wasn't bad.
I couldn't deal with Snidler's universal smoking hag impression of everyone.
That's just what I do.
I know.
That's my
you're
voice for
very good
everybody.
at it. Yeah. So the reason they're torturing the poor nulls on the show. Remember, I'm also really good at doing Mr. Christopher. Hope we see that guy again.
I really
Me
hope
too.
so.
The accountant for the saucy mayor.
Yeah.
What they're doing is they're not just shocking them for funsies. They're trying different energy signatures to replicate a theory that they have. They think that if the nulls were to be trapped inside of a game, and it's the same game that they were nullified in, so if they lost that Battlefield game that we've seen a couple times, right?
Yeah.
But Bob is in there, and the nulls that were nullified were in there, and Bob wins the game. They have a theory that they would
Come back.
They'd
Recompile.
what's the word I'm looking for?
If you will.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
They'd come back. They'd be sprites again.
Yeah, they think the game they think the games retain basically the code,
The
of
encryption data or something.
of all active players. So theoretically,
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
yeah. So theoretically, like if they put a null into a game, then then they win the game, the sprite may come back because the game will automatically like convert them back into sprites to be players.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds believable. And what they're doing here is they're trying to just recreate like energy signatures of that happening, but it's not really easy.
I guess
Because
somehow
we don't know which games they lost in.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, it would be, you'd have to find out, you have to catalog exactly what games created that null. Yeah.
And it's hard to catalog the nulls because they have a base color, but they more or less look the same.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I think they mentioned that nulls instinctually flee the area where a game is going to land.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Like they avoid the games.
How do you null a null?
I think they would just stay a null if
I
the
guess
area
so,
was
yeah.
nullified.
Smaller null.
Smaller null. But yeah,
How do
they
you
like
crawl a crawl?
instinctually. Oh jeez. How do you cuckoo choo? Well,
Asking the hard-hitting questions here on Alphanumeric.
I guess you would have to put them in. I guess you'd have to put them in a cage or a container and like force them into the game.
Right.
And there's no guarantee that like the user would, because from the mainframer's perspective, the games are random.
Yeah.
But can you imagine if like a user like finished a game and never came back to it, and you got nullified in that, and you don't have a chance of coming back, baby.
Yeah, I mean there are tons of games that I play and win at, and then never even think about them again.
There's also tons of games that I play and don't win at, and then never think about again.
But then you're not creating nulls if you don't win at it, so everything's fine.
Oh, fair enough. That's right. Like if you just save and exit, you're technically not. Oh, does that mean if I played like a huge open world like RPG, every time I like load it up and then like leave, I would be quote losing, and it would be fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's say I load up Skyrim and like Bob and Enzo and Andrea are all in it, right? And I just play for like an hour and then save and quit. I mean, technically I didn't win.
Or what about an MMO?
Oh, then you definitely don't win.
Yeah.
Those would be fun for a system then, because there's no way to lose. Then again, this is the 90s where, games were like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the closest thing to an MMO was Ultima Online.
Oh, God. They definitely don't want to be stuck in that game.
I have played it before, back in the day.
Well,
Mostly because it was the only game my computer could run.
There you go.
That, Diablo, and Command and Conquer.
Oh, cool. This just in.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
This scene we're talking about here, where they're trying to restore the nulls. Dot tries. Oh, sorry. I think Bob suggests 9508.
yeah, they're saying a set of numbers.
And yeah, apparently that is this episode's production number.
Oh, huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, creative facts. Creative facts about ReBoot.
What character was that?
It wasn't this one.
Oh God.
It was this one. I don't know. I have to come up with different
last
names
one.
for them.
I like that you have your own.
I have a lot
personas.
of voices, guys. This is the one that I always use. Mine's on
This is your
not. No.
Yes.
Oh God, I'm the only one without a voice.
I'm just Megatron all the time.
Well, you do good impressions. All right.
Is that all I'm good for? So Hexadecimal is about to get some tentacle hentai. Bad touch.
Yeah, see, there's a
Just gonna
whole
get
bunch of
bad touch
Japanese
here.
references in this.
Oh
So
God,
I'm
the
just
bad
gonna-
touch. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals.
Ain't nothing but virus. So let's do it like they do on the supercomputer. Get freaky now. What the fuck was that band called? That's like the only song I know from them.
The
Bloodhound
Bloodhound Gang.
Bloodhound Gang, that's right.
Yeah.
They have another song that was a single that came out just after that one called, I think it's called Mope.
Mope?
That I actually liked back in the day.
Actually, I don't think I've heard it. I mean, maybe I have. I just haven't known.
It is such a mishmash of songs because like it samples the song "Relax" from, by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. It samples "For Who the Bells Toll" by Metallica. It samples "Rock Me Amadeus."
Okay,
that
there's
sounds
like
cool in of itself.
It's actually a pretty fun song. There's a little interlude in the middle of the song where like Pac-Man shows up and smokes crack and offers them a hit,
And
they're like,
it.
and they're like, "No, Pac-Man, drugs are bad." And Pac-Man's all like, "Pussies," and he takes a hit.
I
He's
kind
like,
of remember that.
"Oh, wow, holy shit!"
I have never seen that.
Listeners,
Apparently we're gonna go look up Mope.
I'm gonna look that up.
Look up "Mope" by the
Mope.
Bloodhound Gang on YouTube.
Yeah. So Hex, this little thing
touched
I'm getting horny.
It's like an alternate realm.
Yeah.
I think it's a portal to the web.
Yeah.
Or the net, or whatever.
It looks completely different than anything we've ever seen in mainframe or on the show ReBoot.
Mm-hmm. So it was not like the supercomputer. So there's some other world parallel to the supercomputer. And we've heard Binomes talk about the web.
Right.
It's true.
Like in rumor. Remember that whole, look at this guy doesn't know about the web.
Could this be the web?
If it is, it sounds like a bad place to be.
Yeah.
What are some of the terms? I know they talk about like the net, the supercomputer, and the web, but they've only mentioned them.
I still don't know what the difference is between the net and the web.
I guess we'll find out, or never.
Will we?
Wide Web.
Will we?
Because
all these questions and more will be answered.
Possibly, we will.
Maybe
we will find out.
So,
but
the creature bad touches Hexadecimal's neck, right?
Yeah, it's like some spidery looking thing.
Turns her black.
Yeah, and
And
right
immediately,
after,
go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, and immediately after this, I don't know if you're going to say this, but we see Lost Angles and the ruins, and suddenly all the nulls like perk up and they look straight at the tower.
Yeah, Nibbles, the ones that in the experiments in the principal office,
Yeah,
Lost Angles, presumably all the nulls in mainframe. Like
they
freak out.
they know something's up. Yeah.
Andrea covers her ears as well.
Mm.
So there's some sub-frequency, lower, high-pitched like sound that's making them lose their shit.
That even Frisket can hear.
Oh, Frisket can hear it too, right?
Yeah. He like growls and
they don't like it.
no. Oh, and we got to come back to hack and slash here because everybody's
Hack and slash.
I kind of skipped over it when I mentioned Frisket. Sorry, but all the nulls jumped to attention.
They haven't left yet.
Huh?
It's the scene coming where Nibbles takes off, right?
Yeah. It's like right now where it's
yeah.
Where there is you got Hack who's holding looks like a toy, and it looks like a guardian. It's kind of funny.
Oh, he's trying to like it's supposed to like calm Nibbles.
Yeah,
like a stuffed animal. Oh wait, Christopher, we've seen that toy like 5 times.
Yeah,
there's like a little stuffed animal guardian. It's supposed to look like Bob, presumably.
Sorry, I just got into a sneezing fit for the past like minute or so.
Well, man, you okay?
Yeah, I'm alright. That's why I wasn't.
I was like, oh, where's Christopher?
Yeah, that's why there was nothing audible coming from me.
No.
Are you alive?
I don't know. I really don't know anymore.
All these questions and more will be answered shortly.
On Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
I was going to say Where in the World is Christopher Siege.
Yeah. Where in Time is Christopher Siege?
Where in the studio is Christopher Siege?
Boo up. Boo
up. Boop up. Boo up. Well, he sneaks around the world from Hope to Vancouver. He's a sticky-fingered filcher. From Toronto to Montreal. He'll take you for a ride on a slow boat to Victoria. Tell me, where in the world is Christopher Siege?
Good Lord, blast from the past.
Applause.
This is the wrong blast from the past that we're talking about right now.
When he started to do it all just like flooded back to me.
Tell me, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
That's how you a cappella.
Oh yeah.
We should just do a special little release of us actually singing that in unison.
Just completely
just release it on its own.
Just unrelated to ReBoot.
I'm for it.
Yeah, okay.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego podcast coming soon?
Another Lasercomb podcast coming at you.
Or in the very least the song. Okay, sorry. I derailed Snidler's
I think it was me who did, actually, because I'm the one who started rockapelling.
I had to join in. Just heard the beginning of that. Man, the 90s, best time to be a kid. I challenge anybody to dispute that.
I'm sure someone who grew up in the 70s or 80s would disagree.
Well, in the 80s, you had bike adventures with friends.
Right.
Mm.
So
I know this because I've watched Stranger Things.
And any of the young adult movies that have
E.T.
taken that vibe lately. Oh, E.T. has this very strong kids riding bikes, solving their own problems feel.
I mean, the poster for that movie is literally him flying through the air on a bicycle.
What a time to be alive.
Oh.
To be a kid on a bike.
I was never big on that movie.
I always got scared at the hazmat suits. They were coming through trying to take him away.
Mm.
Yeah.
Think about the year 1982 though. Movies that came out that year. E.T., John Carpenter's The Thing, and Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. That was a great movie. That's a favorite.
All great, spacey, alien, sci-fi-ish type feels.
Yeah.
Right. Very different tones in all of those films.
Yeah, for sure.
Didn't Escape from New York come out that year too? Or was that 81?
I thought that was 81.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Another John Carpenter film.
Yeah.
John Carpenter podcast coming soon.
Yeah.
Wait, what phase is taking Nibbles for a walk?
There is no phase number for walking Nibbles.
Well, that means he just ran away.
Yep, that is right. He
There
ran
he
away all
goes.
right.
Look at him go.
Yep.
He just crawls
I don't
through
even
the
think we're
bars.
there yet.
No,
Are we
yeah,
there
we
yet?
are. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where I am.
I
not.
unfortunately I jumped ahead earlier and yeah, got ahead of myself.
That's okay. We don't need to.
I
Unless
kinda
it's
screwed up
important,
the
we don't need
narrative.
to touch on on everything.
No.
Yeah.
So we got Dominatrix, well, even more so. Dominatrix Hexadecimal,
Whoa.
wearing all black. She's cracking a whip at Michael the television.
Yep, she's been in she is bonded with the Venom symbiote.
I mean,
I think
kinda.
Yeah. Tongue and all.
What is the Venom? Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost everything you said after bonded.
Bondage?
Yeah.
What?
Bonded
Well, 'cause
with
you
the Venom.
Yes.
It was a joke. It didn't land. Oh.
Shaken, not stirred. I don't know what we're talking about.
You spoke about her being like all up in S&M or dominatrix and I made a joke about bondage.
And here we are.
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a new look for you.
I like it.
I like it.
So all the nulls, even though they're freaking out from the union of Venom and Hexadecimal, they seem to be going towards Hex's tower.
Yeah, they start
Right.
They start flocking towards the tower. Yeah.
Yeah, and the ones in the principal office in the little glass cages are like killing themselves, going nuts. Can
Yeah,
it
they
be?
go. Yeah, they're just going absolutely insane, like slamming
Flattening
themselves
yeah.
into the walls of the tank that they're in, the fish tank, if you will.
Flubber. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they are
Very
kind
much
of
like Flubber.
Speaking of Flubber, there's something very much like Flubber a little later.
Oh, really?
The little humanoid version of Flubber, except big.
Oh, yes.
Right.
So they decide to let
Flubber.
out the nulls and follow them to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and they're Bob, Dot, Enzo, and Frisket are about to leave, and Andrea's like, "Can I come?" And Bob's like, "No, you stay here." And she's like, "But I can help. I heard the thing before your scanner even picked it up." And then Enzo is like, "No, stay here. I'll be back soon." And she's like, "All right, Enzo, you're the guardian. You know best."
Bob.
And Bob is all like, "You still haven't told her you're not a guardian?"
guardian?
Which I appreciate good on Bob for not ruining this for Enzo.
Yeah. Let him have it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he says it like under his breath as they're walking away.
Yeah.
Out loud so that Andrea can hear.
I think
He's being a bro.
I think I think right now that there's probably like something deep down where she doesn't actually think he's a guardian.
I think that she's just humoring him.
Probably, yeah.
It's like, you don't look like a guardian.
This just in, media sprite and verminous familiar.
Nothing personal.
Verminous familiar.
I love that.
Threatened by
That's amazing.
strangely altered virus. News at in this final
report.
he says as he's ready to die. I didn't catch that the first time we watched it.
And
He
suddenly,
turns to the camera and he's like, in this final report, and before he gets a chance to say his final goodbyes,
The
hundreds
nulls.
of nulls like tackle and swarm.
The swarmer. Yeah.
And we soon find out it's not hundreds, it's not thousands, it's like all the nulls
Like-
in mainframe. Or it
Because
will be.
A lot of X sprites.
Yeah.
That's a lot of X.
yeah, I
units.
mean, I think they've said before that there's literally millions of nulls in
Did they
mainframe.
say the word millions?
I think they
How's that
did in a
possible?
previous episode.
There's only like hundreds of inhabitants in mainframe now.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
because
mainframe's
they've
a
all been
small city.
nullified.
Huh.
Uh,
I think I recall
And they-
them saying millions.
And they mentioned the Twin City.
I was
before,
just
right?
gonna say that. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
They
can
do
you
mention
guys
the Twin
mention
City.
that? I think I might have missed that, or was that last episode?
That was in last episode.
Yeah, that was in Andrea. They mentioned the Twin City being destroyed.
Right. Experiment. Right.
Yeah.
So, if they died in an experiment and became nulls, does that mean technically the death of a binome or a sprite turns them into a null, and they can't truly die? Because I thought deletion was a thing.
It's not very clear yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. 'Cause
Okay.
we're not. Yeah, that's interesting. I never really thought of it like that.
Because
There's
it's shown people drained of energy and they kind of look see-through.
Yeah.
But they're still there. They just are like ghostly.
Yeah.
So I assumed deletion was them just fading into nothing. But if there was an experiment that like, and it's not just games, because it's implying that it wasn't a game that nullified all of them. It was an experiment. Or was
Right.
it? I guess I don't know. I guess maybe they'll tell us. Maybe it's an experiment in a game, and I'm just because remember I don't know.
That
People listening, I don't know.
We're hearing a lot of theories here. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and like the show hasn't
gone awry.
the show
Okay,
hasn't really elaborated on it at all up to this
Yeah.
point.
I
And who knows
think
if
it's
it will,
cool.
really,
Time to write some fan fiction.
involving dominatrix Venom Hex.
I
I
mean,
can't wait to read
it's
that.
not going to not have hexadecimal.
I mean, I've already read, something to that effect, but
Oh, hexadecimal, right? She may see us.
we should go into
Stealth mode.
Stealth mode.
yeah.
I can't do it. I can't.
The
few
stealth mode-
people can replicate the great Scott McNeil.
It's just awesome. You're just gold.
So apparently their stealth mode is looking oily and bright, like a null.
Yes.
Looking all tie-dye.
It is kind of funny.
Like
It
a
is the
tie-dye.
90s after all.
The last bastion of tie-dye.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have any of you, I don't know if any of you follow Instagram influencers, but tie-dye's kind of making a comeback.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
I didn't know that ever left. I mean, I don't.
Oh,
It
care.
didn't truly
yes.
leave.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
it definitely left.
Chris
I
is-
think it did.
Oh, I'm no fashion guru. I don't know what's going on.
Neither am I.
I've been a trendsetter my whole life. I don't know. You.
Oh, listen to this guy over here.
I'm just
Look
kidding.
at
I just go with
that
whatever.
over here.
I wear what I wear.
Motherfucking trailblazer.
Maybe that was the wrong word. I just wear what I wear. I don't know. I'm no fashion guru.
When they made me, they broke the mold. So there will
God.
never be another one.
Something like my.
There will
something
never
my
be another
uncle would
mold.
say.
Uh,
So, anyways,
What
we
are
got
talking about?
we got Hack and Slash going, shush! No, I said shush, be quiet! And when they finally simmer down, they turn to roll over to go investigate Hex's tower, and they run into Michael the television and Scuzzy, and all
Yeah.
four of them, well, not Scuzzy, he's mute, but all three of them, like, scream.
yeah. It's coming! It's coming, I tell you! Backspace for your lives.
Backspace for
Run,
your
run,
lives.
run! And when you're finished, run some more! Ahem. We're looking for a null! Yeah,
Yeah.
have you seen
Have
one?
you seen one?
Have
Have
I
you
seen
seen
one?
one?
Have I seen one? That's a joke, right?
I love this. He just pipes up and he gives the Webster's Dictionary definition of joke.
Because Hack is like, hey, what do you mean joke? And Slash is like, joke, noun, a thing said or done to cause laughter.
Something in earnest or ridiculous, or whatever he says.
Yeah,
there. I don't know.
something
Not in front of me.
in earnest.
And they both give him this. They both give him this look as if to say, like, "Wow, yeah, you're right. You know, you're
Hack.
smart."
Slash, it's your lucky day. You were looking for a single no. Well, what about 2 million? It's NullZilla! As he runs away with his arms in the air.
Just run away with his arms up above his head.
I gotta say, like, Mike has been, like, really fucking annoying, like, by and large throughout the series. But, like, in this episode, I gotta give credit to his voice actor. Like, I really like the voice work from that actor specific. Michael Donovan, I think is his name.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I really like the performance he's giving as Mike in this episode.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like his time to shine.
Yeah,
they're probably thinking, like, this guy's not doing enough. We need to give him more. And this.
Well, I mean, he also voices Fong too, right? So
that's true, but Mike is just brilliant because he's just out there and he's got.
You know what? He could be annoying, but we've talked about this before. They write him in so well. Like, you think Hack, Slash and Mike the TV would be a terrible, like, scene, but it progresses so quickly, and they're all so dumb that it's actually quite enjoyable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they go over the bridge.
The bridge going to Lost Angle, or going to Lost Angles. The nulls are, like, squeaking toward it, like, along it, and our heroes Bob, Dot, Enzo, and Frisket are following along, and Hack and or Slash fly into frame carrying Mike the TV, which good on them for saving him.
Yeah, good.
Where's
Scuzzy, I feel
though?
like they're not. Oh yeah, where?
Oh, he's he kind of just appears
he can hover
behind Mike.
Right. He can hover. Can he? Yeah, he can.
Yeah.
Who?
Well, he kind of always, like, slightly hovers above the ground.
Scuzzy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of does this weird hovering thing. Yeah.
I don't know if he can fly, but he can at least hover. He's here, so he must have. Unless, because the bridge to Lost Angles, it does like a loop-de-loop almost, right? Like, sorry, no, like a spiral. So maybe he just went across the bridge and he can defy physics? I don't know.
Possibly.
And just action dodged all the nulls coming toward him.
Action dodged. Yeah. I mean, they're not attacking anybody, right? They're just action dodged. If you hold circle after the dodge, you fall into prone.
When you want to use the codec, push the select button. When we want to get in touch with you, the codec will beep. When that happens, press the select button.
Recharge my batteries?
Yeah, Snake, what the hell? Are you trying to kill Meryl? Have you ever, and I found this out, in Metal Gear Solid 1, when Meryl's been shot by Sniper Wolf, and you have to, like, go back and get the sniper rifle, and you have to just leave her dying body there. If you, like, decide to shoot Meryl, the Colonel will call you up and be like, Snake, what the hell? Are you trying to kill Meryl? And then Naomi is like, have you gone insane?
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because she's not dead. Right.
Yeah. And, like, your mission is to save her in this sequence. But
so they stop you from doing it? Or is there no reaction when you try to shoot her?
You can shoot her once and they will call you. And
right. That's crazy.
And then you can shoot her again, and then she'll die, and you'll get
a game over.
Yeah.
So was that just part of Twin Snakes, or was that in the original?
That was in the original.
Man, there's so much hidden dialogue in those games. It's great.
I have literally played through to completion the original Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation more than 40 times.
Whoa.
I was counting for the longest time. Right? Ladies, this guy right here. No, I was counting for the longest time, and eventually I just stopped. But like I'm at more than 40. Yeah, so
That's amazing.
I know that game inside and out. I actually got Big Boss, the Big Boss ranking at the end, which to get that, you have to beat the game in less than 2 hours and 30 minutes, only use one ration, you can only save once, which is at the disc swap. And there's one other thing. I think you have to beat the Hind D helicopter in like less than a minute.
What?
And and you have to be playing on extreme difficulty, which you die. Basically, it's basically like one-shot kill mode for you.
Whoa.
Now, can you load at least?
Well, you can only save once at the disc swap.
Right.
So if you
so
die,
since you
like
die in one hit, the ration thing doesn't seem that bad.
yeah. Well,
But-
if you recall, like every time you beat a boss in that game, your health bar grows. So eventually, as the game goes on, you stop. Like you can, I think by the end of the game, you can take like 3 hits before you die.
Huh. Well, we did
Yep.
it.
I did it once.
We
I
talked
definitely
about Metal Gear Solid once again.
I definitely could not do that again at this point in my life, but I was able to do it once back in like the year 2000.
There you have it.
I never played it.
Feel free
Pleb.
to email us and tell Christopher how you hope to be as cool as him one day.
Yep.
Or,
Ladies,
you know,
send
if,
an email to alphanumericpod@outlook.com.
What do you have to lose? Your dignity.
One ration.
I was just gonna say your dignity.
One ration.
And my dignity, I lost that years ago, so no worries there.
Are you saying you lost megabytes, pet null, nibbles?
Woo-hoo! I just love his
boy,
reaction.
He's
to
in
this.
trouble. That's the smoothest segue I've ever done in my life.
That was very good. That was actually very good.
What does Mike the TV say? He says, I hate to break up your little... What? No, he's like, oh, may I just stop you there? Thank you. Although this is a fascinating story, I feel I must draw your attention to a more pressing matter.
And he does the whole air quotes thing when he says it.
I was like, really, Mike? What's
Pressing
that?
matter.
What?
And he screams that and
Screams
points at
that.
a now vaguely flubber-like humanoid of millions of nulls. But it's only like 30 feet behind him, so I'm wondering why nobody noticed.
How in the world? Yeah.
What in the net?
Did they not see this? How in the net did they not see this? Yes.
At 23:30 today, the nulls of Mainframe mounted an attack on the virus, Hexadecimal. She was unprepared for the assault and was easily overcome. The nulls covered her completely, forming the monster this reporter has named NullZilla.
NullZilla.
And Dot is like, why would the nulls attack her? Hexadecimal controls them.
Dun
And
dun.
Is
Well,
this the
that's new
first time
info.
we've heard this?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that gets more questions percolating in the mind.
Yeah. Why does she control the nulls?
Yeah.
That's cool. We didn't know that.
Yeah. Like you said earlier, this feels like the new episode 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've come to realize rewatching through this show that like my nostalgia for ReBoot, like when I think back fondly on how much I loved this show when I was a kid, like it was definitely from like mid season 2 onward.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like there are a couple of episodes in season 1 that I really like, but like largely like this to me in my mind is like the reboot that I remember.
Yeah, I remember NullZilla. I remember Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mike tells them, hey, something came through her looking glass, and it wasn't Alice.
Look, I know it sounds crazy, but something horrible came through her looking glass, and it got her. And it wasn't Alice.
And it really changed her. I personally think for the worst.
I personally think for the worst. Yeah, and so we transition from here to the principal office, and basically our heroes are getting debriefed by Fong.
Oh, Scuzzy's head is still smashed because of the operatic glass breaking.
Yep.
His little brain dome is still cracked and smashed.
Brain dome.
So yeah, you said they were coming up with a plan?
Yeah.
This is a hilarious scene. I'll let you guys take it away.
Yeah, so Fong is debriefing our heroes, and they're basically like telling him like what's going on, and Enzo is like, "Woohoo! No more hexadecimal," and Fong said,
Hexadecimal, yeah.
What do they say? Hexadecimal?
He says, no more hexadecimal.
Oh, right, and that's when they say, well, hexadecimal is a being of transfinite power.
Right. Yeah. She has transfinite power limits.
Yeah.
So even though the nulls are, quote, unquote, like protecting us from her, she can last a long time surrounded by nulls.
Yeah, because they're draining her energy, but she has so much power that it's going to take a really long fucking time. And meanwhile, this NullZilla creature is stomping around mainframe, just ruining everyone's day. And and Bob says Hex's attempts to break free are devastating the city. So the reason why NullZilla is stomping around like this is because it's Hex trying to get out.
Hex trying to thrash around.
Yeah, so it's not that she's controlling them. They have a bipedal humanoid thing because it's her trying to break free.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
So it's a mindless entity that's just moving around as Hex is thrashing around inside.
Yeah.
You know what? That's good science leading up to this episode.
Yes, for sure.
Yep. I
like it.
I'm down.
Makes sense to me.
I like it.
So speaking of NullZilla, we cut to NullZilla continuing to stomp around mainframe, and Hack or Slash show up looking for Nibbles.
Can you see him? Who? Come on, help me out here.
Oh, wait, there he is.
NullZilla just smacks him across the way, and he just crashes.
That's not him.
That's not him.
Yeah.
As Slash is like flattened against a high rise. Also, how would he even know? If you line up Nibbles with like 1,000 other blue nulls, you would never know.
It's like that's Where's Waldo situation.
Yeah, maybe they have slight differentiations in the coloring. Maybe they have slight differentiation in the color patterns. So if you spent a lot of time near one, maybe, but
yeah,
they're different sizes too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we cut back to the principal office, and Fong is like, "Do not worry, child. I have prepared something for just such an emergency."
Yeah, because Bob says, we know that physical force can't hurt nulls, so we'll have to try containment. And Fong says that. And then Bob is all like, you're prepared for a giant monster made entirely of nulls stomping around mainframe?
That is correct.
That is correct.
How do you plan for that?
Lucky guess.
Lucky guess.
Just,
Just great dialogue in this episode.
Oh yeah.
There's a reason why I put that line in the intro for
I
this
love
show.
your intro. Yeah.
How do you plan for that?
And he's like, I will explain all in due time, but first we must get you into your uniforms. And if you haven't seen this before, what a joy this is.
Oh yeah.
F-A-B. So Fong Greek actions another door in the principal office open, and they step through.
I like that he's got a
Sorry, I just love this episode. It's just so great.
I just noticed that he has
I'm
a
over
picture.
here just splitting a gut laughing right now.
I just noticed that he's got, so this is a secret office of his. It's got lava lamps. And he has a picture of himself with his like mouth wide open.
He's like
smiling,
a selfie, like on a booze cruise or something.
The picture of the principal office behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got like really goofy photos of all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
All their spots.
And we get to see them in their uniforms.
Yep. And
Frisket, Dot, Bob, and Mike the TV are all in different like Super Sentai, like Power Ranger type outfits.
Yep. They are bug Power Rangers, basically.
They all have
things
antennas.
Get better. Yeah.
Not gonna lie, pretty great designs.
Yeah.
Like Bob's in particular. The way the antennas come from between his eyes and extend above his head. I'm digging it.
Even Mike looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like
I would watch this
costume.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, you feel ridiculous. Look at me. I'm a gnat.
What's a gnat?
What's a gnat?
I don't know, but it suits you.
It really does.
Oh yeah, Dot looks good too. She's like a ladybug thing going.
It's not bad.
I love that Frisket is part of this team, not Andrea.
Yep.
Like he had always planned for this to happen. And so he made Frisket a fucking super suit.
He made a dog Sentai. Yeah.
I love that.
Like
with like complete with like glass the black visor.
Yep.
Looks like he's wearing shades.
And
he's
Enzo,
one cool motherfucking dog.
He does look like he's wearing shades. Enzo flips onto the scene, and he's green. He's clearly a grasshopper, but he's like doing like backflips and like karate moves and like very agile. So I'm wondering, is the super suit making him way more like
very common
dexterous?
rider? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
I think it is a thing with the suit. Yeah. Well, because later on, Fong says, "Oh, you know, the suits are necessary. It'll help you control your vehicles." But I don't know if that includes their actual bodies, physical bodies. I don't know.
So they kind of each go to a separate part of the room.
Yeah.
And there's kind of like that secret entrance, almost like Batman-like thing, because like
they go to where their pictures are.
They go to where their pictures are. Dot is sitting on a couch. Very 70s feeling couch. Frisket like stands over a zebra print.
This looks like a 70s love den, you know? Like it's
is.
Yeah.
Hey baby, come down to my basement.
I was brought here. It might set the mood, just saying. Yeah, Fong hits a switch or something and they all like spin into the wall or into the floor. And
they're all like trapdoor type things.
Yeah, and they go into before they go into the tubes, Fong says to Andrea, "Now all we can do is sit and wait."
And Andrea says, "I will stand if it's all right with you."
What a perplexing exchange.
I was just like, that's all right. That was, you know, okay, sure.
Just you do you, lady.
You know,
it's not. I don't know what they were going for with that exchange. Just that Fong and Andrea are very odd. They're both odd in different ways.
It kind of showed. Well, I guess like
she's
thinking about it,
she doesn't understand like what's it called? It's just an expression. Right? He's like, oh, now all we can do is sit and wait. He's just using that as an expression, right?
Yeah.
But
so
she doesn't know these things, so she takes them all literally.
Figures of speech.
So the Power Rangers go through these tubes and all
Oh, they're
land.
color coded. Yeah.
They all land in this big hangar type thing, one by one, and then Bob is all like, "Okay, let's do it."
I just want to note here that everybody is let down
seems
gently,
tired.
and then
Oh.
Mike the TV, like his tube doesn't
right.
come down. Mike just drops from the ceiling, and he's just kind of like, okay. Which
he bounces around.
Again, suits him so well because
it gets no respect.
Yeah.
So Bob, the purple beetle-looking thing, says, "Black Beetle Turbo Pincer Force," and it's almost like a reboot. This giant like tank, like beetle tank, just materializes with him presumably in the cockpit.
Materializes out of him. It looks like.
Yeah, kind of like the suit. It has something to do with the suit.
Yeah.
And Dot is like, "Ladybird accelerator spotted carapace force," and she transforms into a giant ladybug tank.
Yep.
And Enzo says, "Grasshopper sync pulse hopping force."
And hilariously, Frisket is all like,
I love that.
Definitely.
And Mike, very kind of like defeated, says, "Nat, slightly annoyed, high-pitched buzzing force," and he transforms into the tiniest, like little, like tank ever. It's like just barely bigger than him, like a smart car.
And it buzzes.
Oh yeah,
just
like a go-kart.
Everybody out, like just so like powerful and majestic, just flying out the door, and then you have Mike just kind of like bringing up the rear, like classic comedy.
And so in the cockpit, we see of Bob's vehicle, we see him talking to Fong, and Fong tells him that they need to get their vehicles up to speed and give the signal to convert into a giant robot.
Yeah,
and he delivers it like so,
well,
just so.
This is how it works.
Matter of fact.
Well, yeah, the line, he's like, Bob's like, "So what's the plan, Fong?" And he's like, "You must get your vehicles up to speed, and using the signal I gave you, join them together to form a giant robot that will battle NullZilla." And there's like a pause.
It's like...
And Bob just stares at him and he says, "You're kidding, right? These form a what? Right? Giant robot."
Says it with a complete straight face.
And they fly around and try to like configure themselves into a robot manually.
Very awkwardly.
Very awkwardly. It's kind of funny. And Bob's like, "Fong, this is ridiculous. We're never going to get a robot out of these."
A robot.
A robot, yeah.
They don't even fit together.
You must give the signal all at once. And so they do.
That was
and
great timing. Yeah.
And there's this kind of like reboot icon with like a blue flurry behind them, and all at once, including Frisket going, "Rawr, rawr, 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 rawr."
Reboot robot entomologizing force!
Reboot robot entomologizing force.
That's right, yeah.
Amazing.
And now they have this.
And then the icon, their heads disappear, and the icon shoots up onto a giant robot standing in the middle of a. It's a cool transition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you. What does it look like? You said it looked like a particular like giant robot from a certain show.
So the robot model in this show was actually reused a year later in the first episode of Beast Wars as the pre-T-Rex robot form body of Megatron.
So like episode 1, protoform Megatron when they're in space.
Yeah, before they take, just after they've crash landed on the planet, just before they take on beast forms, we see like a kind of like shadowy shot of Megatron as he's talking to his computer, and he's sitting in his chair, and Yeah, so they reuse the robot model from this episode for that. And the head to me on this reboot Megazord, basically, the head to me is kind of reminiscent of an old anime called Grandizer.
Mm.
The color scheme and the shape of it, yeah.
Yeah, with like the horns on the side and like the kind of faceplate that it has. Yeah, it's what it reminds me of.
I dig what this looks like. It looks like a police like mech.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I would legit watch this show. Like I would watch like a spin-off of Reboot that's just this.
Reboot robot entomologizing force.
Yeah. All right, that's our next fanfic right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, there's kind of like a grainy, like old-timey, like video clip of different sprites wearing different comical costumes running in terror from NullZilla.
Yeah, reminiscent of like old Godzilla films.
Old Godzilla film, yeah.
You're reacting in front of a screen.
Yeah.
Before green screen and all that, yeah. Pretty genius.
And Hack and Slash try to stop NullZilla single-handedly and get flattened. But it's okay because
they don't really
follow normal physics.
Yeah.
Like, this is actually like the second time one of them's been flattened this episode.
Yeah.
So what they do, if I know anything about how their physics works, is they take their thumb, they blow in it really hard, and they inflate themselves back up.
I just love the way Hack's eyes bulge. There's just something so cartoony about it, and it just screams, and like his eyes just come out of it. Yeah, it's just brilliant.
You know what? When I was a kid, didn't like Hack and Slash and Mike the TV as much as I actually do rewatching this as an adult.
Yeah.
You'd think I would dislike them. I would like them less. But no, I actually think their comedic timing is some of the better writing on the show.
Mm-hmm. Especially late, where we are in the series now.
Yeah. So just before NullZilla is about to smack an apartment tower, specifically Bob's.
So yeah. So what I want to bring up, and this didn't occur to me until just now. So the reason why, we've learned that the reason why NullZilla is stomping around Mainframe is it's Hexadecimal's attempts to get free.
Yes.
NullZilla goes to Bob's apartment specifically.
Oh.
Yeah. She's looking for help from Bob.
Yeah. Maybe internally we know somehow she's.
Yeah, and we know that Hex is madly in love with Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
That's an interesting point. I never thought of that.
So subconsciously, she's directing NullZilla towards where she thinks Bob might be?
Right, yeah. Yeah, this, I've seen this episode, literally dozens of times, and it only just occurred to me now.
Wow. Oh, that's a
very
very interesting way to look at that.
I might be reading too much into it, but...
No, I think that's actually perfectly valid. Wow.
Why else would it try to specifically go at this one building? Interestingly enough, when NullZilla is tapped on the shoulder, it reacts.
Mm.
And Bob inside the cockpit, which is always in the head of these giant Power Ranger mechs, right?
Mm.
Sometimes it's in the chest.
Oh, in the chest. You're right. No,
in the chest, isn't it?
I think in this one they're behind the eyes.
Yeah.
And what does Bob say? He's like, destroy my apartment. I don't think so. And he goes to put his
hand... get that catchphrase in there.
Yeah. Is it bad? Is it
very bad?
How bad is it, Fong?
Tell me.
Tell me.
Geez. Slower. Now squint your eyes like you're angry. Anyways,
now pucker your lips as you say it.
The mech puts his hand on NullZilla's I guess its shoulder,
Yeah.
And all the nulls like shift where the head is, so that they just kind of like engulf the hand of the robot.
Right.
And then he pulls. They pull the robot's hand free, and it's like limp, as if the nulls like sucked all the energy out of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that actually.
Yeah, because nulls absorb energy, right?
Yeah.
So if there's enough of them, they can. It's like a pack of like wild like dogs. Like they can take somebody out, and they suck all the energy out of the hand. And Bob says, you guys always hear something different, I think. He says, this is not good. We're going to have to try the subtle approach.
Yeah, I can hear that now, but for years I thought he was saying, the sucker punch. But now after really listening, like, yeah, I can hear subtle approach.
And the subtle approach
neither
is
makes sense.
Boxing NullZilla.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's nothing subtle about boxing someone face to face.
Because sucker punching is more like sucker punching. It's you sucker punch someone.
Sneak attack, yeah.
I want to mention
exactly subtle. Sorry, go on.
I want to mention I'm watching this on the Canadian streaming service Crave right now. And the closed caption says Subway Punch.
Oh my god.
Okay, so
let's go with that.
Three things.
Mix of both worlds.
We're going to try the Subway Punch. We're going to have to try the Sucker Punch, and we're going to have to try the subtle approach. Viewers, you break the tie. The Subway Punch.
The Subway Punch. Get a $5 footlong out of it.
Wow.
$5 footlong. You know that fucking commercial is 10 years old now?
God.
I was in a Reddit thread recently and noticed that other people had randomly brought that up, and they're like, how is that song still stuck in my head?
Right?
And I'm like, I actually don't know what it is, so I'm glad.
Oh, you never saw that commercial?
No. So
Oh, wow.
I'm free.
What do you mean Barks has bite?
That,
though,
that is in my head forever.
I love that commercial.
Johnny?
Yeah.
What do you mean
Johnny?
Barks has bite?
I haven't seen him that excited since he got his heels.
Oh.
Ouch.
I don't know if that commercial even aired. Well, I know the $5 footlong commercial. Well, actually, I don't, but I think it aired in the States. I don't know about the Barks root beer commercial, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
I don't know about the States, but yeah, I remember seeing it all the time.
Oh, yeah, and it was around this time, too. It was like 95, 96.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Feel old yet?
Yeah. Not really.
So
I know I am old. I don't feel old.
Bob's subtle approach to
I feel old when I am like talking to a coworker about one of these shows that we do, and they were born after the episode that we're currently viewing, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
To their credit, they're
old as time.
To their credit, they're quite interested in hearing about it, and I found out recently actually like tell other people about these shows. So I'm like, hey, cool,
Thanks.
yeah.
So Bob's idea of the subtle approach is boxing and uppercutting NullZilla onto his apartment building and destroying it.
That's a very subtle approach.
He doesn't seem that upset. He just kind of turns to Dot. They're at some like control panel, and he's like, "Oh no, I just redecorated." And I'm like, "Wow, he took that well."
He's still hopped up on the adrenaline of the Subway Punch.
What an interesting finishing move. Ultra entomologizing Subway Punch.
Oh god.
Or no, I guess his would be like Mega Beetle Buster Punch, or I don't know.
Big bad Beetleborgs.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah.
Shout out to that one Beetleborgs podcast.
Awesome.
Yeah, the self-proclaimed only Big Bad Beetleborgs podcast until we start one.
We should start a VR Troopers.
Oh god.
You know, I never actually watched VR Troopers growing up.
I think I saw one episode. Didn't
Only
care for
a
it.
couple, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that theme song though.
Yeah. We are
VR.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't even know how, because like I don't even remember ever watching the show at all. I couldn't tell you a goddamn thing about it, but
No.
I remember that theme song.
Yep. It's all about the theme song.
Where in the world? So anyway, the NullZilla doesn't. It just seems to get back up, right? Like it's just a bunch of nulls, right?
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
gets back up, and Bob kind of like lines up like the 8-ball and kicks it at it.
Yeah.
Oh, we should have mentioned that the after NullZilla got up, it actually spat out the 8-ball.
Oh yeah, out of its like
Oh
head.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it spat out the 8-ball from
love
Bob's
that.
apartment. And yeah, and then the Megazord like soccer kicks the 8-ball right into NullZilla.
Yep.
And they radio Fong, and Bob's all like, Fong, we're managing to keep it under control, but we can't do this forever. And Fong's all like, use the Matic, son.
He's like, the what?
The what?
And all of a sudden
Use a
the
Disruptomatic.
robot, use the Disruptomatic, right? And the robot starts like patting itself down as if like, oh god, like where did I leave my phone or my keys?
Where are my
Yeah.
keys?
Yeah. Little Macarena dance, you know.
And Bob's like, what the hell is a Disruptomatic? And then it kind of takes like a feminine stance and puts its hand on its hip, and we hear Dot's voice.
Yeah.
Fong, we haven't got a Disruptomatic.
Yeah.
And Fong's like, just a second. One moment, my child. And he switches his like camera on his laptop, and it cuts to a camera, and there's a giant axe behind like
Pane of glass.
like a pane of glass with like an emergency like red border around it. And maybe one of you can see the writing on it.
So
Yeah.
what the writing says on it is, in case of giant null monster threatening city, break glass.
Yeah. Which I just think is
Only because
brilliant.
of that.
So he literally is
They
prepared
forgot their
for
one
this.
weapon.
Lucky guess.
They forgot
It was an inside job. It was an inside job. There you go.
They forgot the one weapon they needed to bring with them.
Yeah.
But to be fair, this is their first day on the job. Fong should have reminded them.
It's
Yeah.
an inside job, I'm telling you. Fong knew. Fong knew.
So they keep boxing NullZilla.
Yeah.
And trying to knock its block off, so to speak.
And the music Mickey Mouse's along with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So like every time
Dun 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 dun. Yeah.
in time with the punching. Listeners, like things like that in movies and television is known as Mickey Mousing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Cheers.
Mickey Mouse, my favorite. Don't know why we're talking like Megatron all of a sudden.
Yes.
So NullZilla finally.
Uh?
Oh god.
Here we go.
So this is confusing for me. So NullZilla is a non-sentient like entity made of all of these nulls, but it manages to like headbutt or knock the robot on its back, and then it proceeds to jump up and down on it like a toddler throwing a tantrum, like trying to crush it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how is it doing that? Other than that, it's just entertaining, right?
Yeah.
And we cut to Andrea piloting the giant axe that is the Disruptomatic.
Apparently, you can fly it.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
can
mean-
fly the Disruptomatic.
And she
Yep,
flies
you
it
just have to think happy
into.
thoughts.
Yeah.
She flies it into the robot's hand. That robot's hand clutches it. It connects, and they smack NullZilla off of them.
Yep.
Just before Andrea arrives with the Disruptomatic, though, I want to point out that like, what is the pose that the Megazord is doing here with its left hand as it's like punching NullZilla?
The pose?
Yeah. Take a look at it on video. Like, look at what it's doing with its left hand.
Before they get knocked onto the ground?
Yeah. It looks like it's biting its nails.
Oh, there it is. I don't
here.
know. What is that?
It's just keeping its guard up. Keeping an arm in front of it.
I think it's just I think that's it, because NullZilla is winding up for that final punch.
Yeah, you just keep your arms up when you're boxing.
They're kind of just like bracing themselves.
I suppose, but like the pose that the hand is in is like really weird.
They're playing a weird violin.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to when they're back to their feet, Bob's like, "Good work, Andrea. Get up here. Take the arm elevator." And as he's talking, Andrea just like walks up right beside him, and he's like, "Take the arm elevator up to level 54 and follow the signs to the chest cavity." She's like there the whole time, and he just kind of turns and looks at her and like looks shocked. Great writing. I love this.
Oh yeah.
So then we get to see what the Disruptomatic does. It's basically just a giant immersion blender.
That's basically it. Yeah. Gonna make a frappuccino.
Yeah. It starts spinning so fast it starts to glow.
Yeah.
And they just send the nulls flying, just all across mainframe, in giant globs of nulls. Everybody is running in terror.
And there's the clown gets knocked over by one. I love that.
It's nice. The clown, is nice.
Nice.
And the nulls are even like peppering Hack and Slash, which, surprise, surprise, are completely back to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like mildly like annoyed as they're like landing on them. And Slash turns to an orange one and he's like, "Oh, here he is." And he goes to touch it and it like zaps his energy from his finger. Yeah. Oh no, that's not him. I love that.
So we're back at the foot of the Gundam. The thing, the giant robot. Where Hexadecimal is laying on the ground. Looks like she's recovering, but a little drained. And Bob's standing over her and trying to figure out what happened to the thing. Whatever caused all this has left her.
Yeah, it's just gone.
Yeah. She's just laying there.
So I don't know if the Disruptomatic did it, or whatever that like little black like Venom, basically.
Yeah, the symbiote.
Let's call the symbiote for now. Maybe it left Hex because she was getting her energy drained, and it was like, fuck this shit. Maybe. Yeah. Because we cut to a shot of the Silicon Tor, and Nibbles is crawling back into his cage just in time for.
Bob had scanned her and says he's like, "It's strange. Whatever caused all this is gone."
It's gone. Yeah, and Nibbles is returning obediently to its cage.
Yeah.
And just as Mega Bite is showing up.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, there you are." And he leans down and picks him up and says, "Father."
Ho ho.
He calls the null father.
And then he laughs.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I'm
shit.
like, hold up. What?
Interesting.
Hold up.
Wait a cycle.
Nibbles?
Wait a cycle.
Yeah.
Just a nano click. And Megatron, for some reason, starts turning and looking around. He's like, "Where are those two bumbling fools?"
Megabyte.
Oh god, I said Megatron. I can't even make it a single episode brilliant. Without calling Megabyte Megatron. And in the roof, like that little
it's on fire.
Like symbiote.
Yeah.
The little symbiote like perfectly burns a silhouette of its body shape, like through the wall. and just kind of like ominously like floats towards Megabyte.
No.
And that it was interesting
Love
that when that happened, he yelled no as if he knew exactly what it was.
He
And it
yelled
was
no,
coming
like
for him.
As
He
if
yelled-
he was helpless to like do anything against it.
he
Yeah.
yelled no, like he just found out that Padme was dead.
God.
That's funny. No.
Reboot did it 10 years before Star Wars. Just saying.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah.
that.
Take that, Star Wars. Fuck Star Wars.
Wow.
Yeah.
I a controversial opinion, but I agree.
The
So
Phantom
So yeah, the
Menace.
symbiote engulfs Megabyte, and now he's all black and tonguey, just like
he's
Venom
black
as well.
and silver
Yeah.
instead of like blue and gold.
This is
Yeah.
a fucking badass looking Megabyte.
He's
Gotta
got
say.
gold teeth.
Yeah, he's got like silver claws,
gangsta.
silver accents on his like chest for the viral symbol.
Yeah.
Oh, right, he does have gold, and his teeth are gold. Red eyes,
And red eyes, yeah.
the long venom, like tongue again.
Yep.
But the dark or the black or the shadow version of Hex and Megabyte look badass.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I had an action figure of that one actually. It was
cool.
the
Oh.
black and silver Megabyte. I don't know where
Sweet.
it went. I got lost in a move when I was young.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
It's always the way.
I'm looking for it still.
Looking for love in Alderaan places.
and that's it, folks.
And that's it. That's NullZilla.
Snidler, you want to tell them about our rating system?
Yes. We have a 4-tier. What would you call it? A 4-tiered rating
4-tier.
system?
Yeah, from bottom to top.
Yeah, from bottom to top, we have this is bad, very bad, which is obviously worst. But if it was so bad but not horrible, then it was oh my gosh. How come I can never remember this one?
I don't think so.
Yes, that's right. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Now,
I know
number
my
2
stuff.
is I don't think so, which is not horrendous to our senses.
Yeah, exactly. It's
That's
not like
not
it's
good.
not high code. Not high code. Um,
Yeah.
So, and then we have the good side that we have that was easy enough, which means wasn't terrible, wasn't the best, but I liked it. And then we have the best of the best, which is Alphanumeric.
I like that 3 of those, the bottom 3 are Bob's sayings, and the best rating is Enzo's.
Yeah.
Enzo's phrase. Also the name of the show. So,
So, who would like to go
Christopher.
first? Yeah, Christopher. Let's.
I'll go first. I'm giving this one a highest possible alphanumeric rating. I love this episode. This is legitimately one of my favorite episodes of ReBoot. Definitely in my top 10, might even be in my top 5.
Of all ReBoot?
Yeah. I love all the I love the Power Rangers, all the Power Ranger stuff. I love the music in this episode.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Like the music that plays
It's just funny.
during the Megazord fight.
I think
Yeah,
it's just funny too.
It's a funny episode.
Mike the TV's lines are great.
Yeah.
Frisket like "Rawr, rawr, 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 rawr," as if like there's an actual dog language.
Right.
All the way down to the in case of null monster threatening city, break glass.
Yeah.
Like it's just great writing in this episode.
That's such a little detail too. Like, would you even have been able to see that on a old
No.
CRT television?
No.
I don't
Can't even
think
see
so.
it on my copy unless I pause and get up close.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, alphanumeric.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it the same. I thought it was like funny. I'm not a super fan of like Power Ranger like type stuff, but it's not like that's a primary focus of the show. And
Yeah.
it comes and goes with such good timing, comedic timing, that it's just a joy. Like it doesn't it everything adds to this episode.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the better ones.
definitely.
So yeah, it gets alphanumeric for me too.
Well, I'm pretty much going to third both of you all because, yeah, I agree pretty much on every count. It was just great writing. And it also, you're learning more about mainframe. You're learning more about the history.
Yeah.
And it gives you more questions as to, whoa, wait a second, Father, Twin City, and now we're learning about nulls, and now we're listening to, and now we had this thing come after Hex, and now it's going after Megabyte. Oh, like, what's happening?
And Nibbles is Megabyte's father, apparently. Like,
yeah, like what in the world?
This might be, it's hard to quantify. Like, I really like Bad Bob.
mm-hmm.
I like what was Enzo's birthday?
Talent Night,
right?
Yeah.
For different reasons, they're just really epic, right?
Yeah.
But as far as like lore provided, mysteries, like starting, right? General, like what's going on? Oh, that's how nulls work. What? Why does Hex? Like, it asks and brings up the right amount of questions. It makes mainframe seem a part of something bigger. It might be my favorite so far.
Definitely.
Bold statement.
Yeah.
And I believe the next episode after this continues directly from this one. Like, there's no time in between. Like, it starts right after this, does it not?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
So it's an alphanumeric. It's an alphanumeric for me too.
Awesome.
All right, Snidler, where can people find us?
People can find us either on Lasercomb Productions on Facebook, LAZOR Comb, Haircomb. Lasercomb Productions on Facebook, or www.do-not-forget-this.com. Just kidding. www.alphanumericpodcast.ca.
Yep.
Very, very important for the www.
Otherwise, it's a broken
it doesn't do the thing.
Because I know dick all about websites, so that's why our website looks like shit. It's because I don't know what I'm doing.
It doesn't look like shit. It's a very good website.
I think it's cool.
I like
it
the
looks
website.
like it kind of, the website kind of feels like GeoCities, like this was made shortly after
Reboot was made. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
So
I don't know if Christopher was
honestly
going for that or if that's how it ended up, but I approve.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, I just want to remind listeners that we have a contest going. If you want to win a digital copy of the 1995 anime Ghost in the Shell, send us an email to alphanumericpod@outlook.com. In the subject line, put contest. All you have to do to enter is just tell us a memory associated with ReBoot. Winner will be drawn at random, so don't think you have to like embellish or come up with a really good story. It could be literally anything. But do that. The contest is still open until March 15th, I believe, was the deadline that I set. 2021. So do the thing.
Do the thing. Win some Ghost in the Shell.
Do the thing.
Yep. We'll be back next week with the 8th episode of Season 2, Gigabyte.
Uh-oh.
I've just got to say this. I scared the crap out of me as a child. A lot of this, but I'm not a child anymore, so
I'm a child at heart.
So it scares you more.
That scares me even more.
So we're running out of time here, so we are going to get out of here. I've been one of your hosts, Christopher Siege.
I've been another host, the AP Snidler.
And I'm yet another host, NeoCal.
Wishing you all a happy week and stay frosty.
A Merry Christmas.
And a Merry Christmas. God bless us, everyone.
Yeah, until next week, Happy Hanukkah.
Yes. Yeah.
And as always, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Move up.
sneaks around the world from Maryland to Carolina. She's a sticky finger filter from Berlin down to Belize. She'll take you for a ride on a slow boat to China. Tell me where in the world is
Carmen San Diego?
there's only South Korea, baby, don't it come crying, come from the Red Sea to Greenland, will they singing the blues? Or will they never Arkansas still? The beat come from a jungle, tell me where in the world is
Carmen San Diego?
she go from Nashville to Norway, but air to Zimbabwe, Chicago to Czechoslovakia and back. Well, she'll ransack Pakistan and Afghanistan and Scandinavia, then just stick 'em up down under and go big pocket bird. She was missing misdemeanor when she stole the beans from Levi.